How we doing, YouTube? This week we got a brand new video talking about the benefits of key energy exercises. And for those of you who aren't very familiar with key energy, it's the same type of movements or exercises such as Tai Chi or Qi Gong. Qi is an ancient Eastern concept that revolves around the belief that we all have this internal energy or internal life force that we can hone and use for our health. And the specific exercise that I'm going to be sharing with you today is actually from this Vietnamese master called Ngoc. It's his own version of key energy exercise. Just in case you're wondering how key energy exercises look like, here are some examples from the YouTube video that Do Ngoc posted 6 years ago. And I recently learned about him during my trip to California. My aunt had learned how beneficial his exercises were, especially for the elderly. And since my aunt is way past retirement, she's very concerned about her health. She also happens to have diabetes, which is something she's constantly battling with. And that leads us to the main reason my aunt loves this type of exercise is that she's been practicing it for a couple of days and she knows an immediate effect on her blood sugar level. Before, my aunt used to take about 3 pills to help lower her blood sugar level. But ever since she's been practicing the key energy exercises with Do Ngoc, she's been noticing that her blood sugar level is much more balanced and at a healthy state. And she only needs about 1 pill per day as opposed to 3. And that's one of the things that my aunt can measure very easily is her blood glucose level. She has one of those monitoring systems so she can just take it out and test her blood to see how high the blood sugar is. So if she notices that something has an immediate effect on her blood sugar level, she knows either to avoid it, such as certain type of food, or if there's a certain activity that helps with her blood sugar level, where she knows to continue doing those things. So once my aunt found out how beneficial this exercise was, she pulled me in and had me do it with her. And I too noticed that it helped me in other ways. Personally, for myself, when I tried the key energy exercises, I noticed that I could fall asleep very quickly. Falling asleep can be a challenge for me because I spend a lot of my day just glued to my phone, searching stuff on the internet. There's always a million different things going through my mind, so it's very hyperactive. And the toughest thing for me to do at night is just to shut it off, just to tell my brain to stop worrying or stop jumping around from one thought to another. So having this exercise actually helped me fall asleep much easier at night. Other things I noticed about myself is it actually helped my digestive system. I have a pretty weak digestive system and it's very sensitive. For example, I love eating Korean food, but my body does not like it. It doesn't like the fact that the beef is fried, oily, and fatty. Also that there's an endless amount of meat that you could eat, so I tend to stuff myself with the Korean beef. And a lot of their side dishes are pickled veggies, and they happen to be spiced up with hot peppers, which my body does not like. So before, what would happen is I would go eat Korean barbecue, I'd go home, and I get a heartburn, I feel uneasy, I'd have a hard time sleeping, and then I'd try to drink milk or Tums or antacid, and it only helped like 25%. The pain would still be there for a good amount of the night. And I had to put up with that every single time I went to grab Korean barbecue, which sucked. But ever since I've been trying the key energy exercise, I noticed that I don't have as much problem as before. It might be a little bit discomfort, but it doesn't last through the whole night. It might just be a couple minutes. Once I saw how beneficial this was for my aunt and myself, I decided it was time to introduce my mom to it, and she loved it. She wanted to get healthy because her doctor said she needed to get healthy, and she enjoyed her time at 24 Hour Fitness. She met other like-minded people there, people who were at the same age as her and also went to the same church as her. But then it got cold and rainy, and it's very hard to motivate yourself to go to the gym when it's cold and wet outside. So for a good month or so, she stopped going to the gym. The nice thing about the key energy exercises is that it's on YouTube, so you can practice it anytime you want. You just turn on the TV or a laptop or sometimes even a phone. After doing the key energy exercise for 1 week, my mom noticed 2 key benefits. The best way to describe this is that every morning my mom woke up with a sleepy leg. She had trouble moving, she had trouble walking with it. It took her a good 5-10 minutes just to gain control of her leg. But ever since she's done key energy exercise, when she wakes up, she knows that her legs are much more responsive, there's less pain, and she can walk about just like normal. The second key benefit for my mom is that at night she had trouble sleeping. And when she did sleep, she was a very sensitive sleeper, meaning anything could wake her up, and when she woke up, she found it hard to sleep back again. So she would go through that cycle multiple times every single night. But after practicing the key energy exercise, she noticed that it was much easier for her to fall asleep, and she knows that once she fell asleep, she slept all the way through the night, all the way till 6, 7 in the morning, which is when she typically wakes up to prepare to go to church. Because of those 2 benefits, that's why my mom absolutely loves key energy exercises. She can't wait to do it every single day. If you haven't noticed it yet, Thầy Đồ Đức Ngọc is a very old man, but he's very healthy because of the key energy exercises. Also, if you watch any of his other videos, most of the people who practice it are also elderly. Therefore, I would highly recommend this activity for anyone who's nearing retirement or past retirement. All the movements that he asks you to do are very simple, and anyone could do them. Another benefit is that most of his exercises don't require that much space. You probably need only about 3 feet by 3 feet of space. Another benefit of doing key energy exercise is that it's easy on the joints. So if you know someone, such as your parent, grandparent, who has trouble with certain joints, well, most of these activities are low impact, so they can perform the exercise and not go through too much pain. So those are the reasons why it's good for the elderly. But as you can see, I'm not one of the elderly, and I still love doing this. So I would recommend this to pretty much anyone and everyone. One of the key elements that I really enjoy about key energy exercise is the breathing aspect of it. He makes sure that you're always incorporating deep breaths through your exercise. He'll tell you when to breathe in and breathe out throughout the whole exercise. Another aspect I think is very beneficial is his techniques are somewhat self-massaging. He teaches you how to self-massage yourself to encourage blood circulation. Finally, I really like the fact that a lot of his activities and exercises take you out of your normal day-to-day body range. For the typical human being, we sleep, we wake up, we sit down, we eat, we sit down, we drive in the car, we sit down, and we work at a desk. And then some of us are standing while we're working on the cash register or whatever activity. A lot of his activities take us out of our normal day-to-day movements, and it allows us to stretch and rotate and move in ways that we don't normally move and that would be beneficial for us if we did it more often. So there's one movement where you're reaching behind your neck and pulling it from one side to the next. And there's another movement where you're putting both hands behind your head and you're scratching it. A third movement requires you to rotate your whole body from left side to right. And finally, my favorite one is where he's doing the Karate Kid pose where you put both arms out with one leg up, like you're about to kick someone. It looks easy, but once you try it, you'll understand how hard it could be. So that brings us to the end of the video. I just wanted to show you one of the things I've been doing that has increased the quality of my life, and I believe that you should do it. Or if you know someone in your family who could benefit from this, perhaps you could show them the video. I'll include the link of the key energy exercises in the description, and also I'll make sure there's a link right here that you can tap on. So I challenge you to be more active and go do key energy exercises.